thank you for sharing your opinion, which I can choose to not let in.
My biggest strategy for dealing with criticism and negative feedback or people who are trying to get you is just empathy.
A lot of my friends back in the day were like, why do you feed trolls? I'm like, because I respect other people's points of view and I want to learn from conversation.
Rise and shine!
It's Entspresso time.
Entspresso?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and every morning I bring you a shot of Entspresso to help you start your day with confidence and believe in yourself more. So good morning, I believe in you, and let's do this. Over to you, Marisa Peer.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
If someone just comes in and goes, oh, I hate that shirt, or that colour is so not you, or you should never have cut your hair, or whoa, you've got a bit heavy, you just go, thanks for sharing that. Just a really simple thing which says, thank you for sharing your opinion, which I can choose to not let in. You don't have to do anything else. Right. When the minute you go, well, your shirt's pretty awful, or look at your hair, or calling me heavy, you look anorexic, you've let it in. And now you're trying to retaliate. And it's like a game of tennis. If you put down your racket and walk off the court, you can't volley. So the first thing to say is, thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And it's very good for the little barbs we get from people, family, friends, sisters, cousins, exes.
Right.
If someone is really mean and says, you know, I listened to your talk on YouTube, oh my God, you stank up the place, I was embarrassed for you, then you go back and you say, I missed that, could you repeat that for me, slowly? They will usually not bother because they know that in you asking them to repeat it slowly, you're going to call them out on it. And they usually go, oh, me and my big mouth, I'm just having a bad, I didn't actually really watch it anyway, just ignore me. And if they do, you must not go after them and go, no, I want you to repeat it right now, say it to my face. Don't do that, because a bit like a lion who bares the teeth, they're saying, back off and I don't want to attack you. When a lion bares its teeth, you don't go up to it, you walk away. It gives you a chance to retract. So saying, could you repeat that slowly, is giving the person a chance to retract. They almost always do, but occasionally they'll come back and go, no, I just said you're so wooden as a speaker, it's an insult to wood.
My biggest strategy for dealing with criticism and negative feedback or people who are trying to get you is just empathy. It's just empathy. I will tell myself that this person is in a lot of pain. This person hates their life. They don't know me and they're taking it out on me. Empathy. I try to understand where they're coming from. If it's somebody that you're dealing with regularly, if that's your mom or that's an aunt or somebody, you know, in your family, your grandfather, then you already know going in that that's going to be a problem. You already know going in that they're going to criticize you for something. And so you can work your way through empathy ahead of time. When you're about to talk to them and they're going to ask you about your relationship or your business or your career and they're judging you, understand that they probably love you, right? They probably love you. Your mom probably loves you. She just has a different view of success than you. Have empathy. Try to put yourself in her shoes instead of you judging her. The problem is the judgment back. A lot of people, I see this a lot of time with young entrepreneurs with their parents, but it applies to your husband, wife, friends, you know, family, everybody. You want the support. You want their support. You want them to tell you that you're doing a good job, that you've got their buy-in, that they're cheering you on. That's what you want from them. And what you're hearing back is the criticism and when are you going to get a real job, or when you're going to get a real relationship, or when you're going to, right? You want the support and all you hear is judgment. But what you're actually doing is judging them too. You're judging them. You're judging them for not giving you the support. In their head, they're actually giving you support. They think this is what you should do because it's what they did. It's what they would do in your shoes. They have a different version of success than you do. You're both just judging each other. They're judging you for your lack of the right action. You're judging them for the lack of support. Where the way to get through it is just empathy. Empathy. Understand that they love you. Understand that they have a different worldview than you do. Understand that in a 2020, 2021, 2022 environment, the opportunities available to you, I'm 40 years old, the opportunities available to me as a 40-year-old compared to when my parents were 40 years old are vastly different. Vastly different. They did not have the same exposure, opportunities, access that I do when they were my age. Now, I'm fortunate that my parents have always supported me in what I'm doing, but your parents probably love you. And having that empathy, what it does is removes the sting from the words. And it's great practice because as you get out there in business and as you continue to build your company, you'll have a lot of people who will judge you, who will throw shade at you, who will tell you that you suck. And when you can default to empathy, when you can think this person doesn't even know me and you try to put yourself in their shoes, it makes it a lot easier. So that's especially for family, right? Empathy, they love you, they have a different worldview, you have some context on them so you can try to understand their story a little bit more and why they're coming at you so hard this way, right? Why they feel so strongly this way. They don't think a business is going to work out because maybe their father tried to have a business and it didn't work out. And so that's the worldview that they live in. That's the pattern that they're living in, and they don't want you to repeat that pattern. They love you, right? So empathy removes the sting. Then you can see if there's any validation or any points in there that you can actually learn from. Now let's move to strangers. So when you're putting up YouTube content, when you're putting the product out there to the world, you're going to get judged. You're going to get people who attack you, who don't even know you. They don't love you. You know, it's not like your mom who loves you and is giving you advice that doesn't serve you. This is a total random stranger who doesn't know you, doesn't love you, and is coming at you hard for some unknown reason, right? So the way to use empathy here is understand that people are good. I believe that people are good. I think we are good. In my book, Built to Serve, I go through a who, why, how process. And the who part is figuring out your most important core value. What is your most important core value? This is the operating system that you run on. It's the way through which you see the world. It's always been something positive. It's always been hope or freedom or inspiration or motivation or believe or belong or extraordinary. It's always something positive. I've never had somebody's who be something negative. I've never had somebody say the way I see the world is through hatred. Never. So if somebody is good, but they're lashing out and throwing hatred on the world, why would they do that? Well, because they're in a lot of pain. Anybody who's coming at you, slamming you hard, who doesn't know you, they're in a lot of pain. And think about when you've been in pain, because you've been in pain. When you've been in pain, have you been proud of the actions that you took? Were you being your best self to the world around you? Were you spreading love and kindness and humanity and empathy to everybody around you when you were in a lot of pain? Yeah, probably not. Right? When you feel hurt, when you feel misunderstood, when you feel angry, what do? You lash out. This is what most people do. And so understand, this is the empathy part, understand that negative comment or that nasty review isn't them trying to destroy you. They don't know you. They're just in a lot of pain. And they're doing what you expect somebody in a lot of pain to do. So again, what that does is it helps remove the sting. It just doesn't hurt as much. And then inside of their comment or the feedback or the review, you can see, is there anything that I can learn from this? Is there anything I can learn from this comment? Because it doesn't hurt as much anymore. It's not that it's going to not hurt at all, because you're still human. You're not a robot. You're still human. So when you see that negative piece of feedback or you get that criticism, it's still going to hurt. I just want to reduce 80% of the hurt. And I want to flip that hurt as much as possible and as quickly as possible to empathy and to understanding, because that's where it makes you feel a lot better and can also make them feel better, or anybody who's watching the situation feel better. You know, a default reaction for me, if you look at any of my comments, if somebody leaves a really nasty comment, that if there's something to learn from it, I'll only pay attention to the feedback. I won't say, oh, thank you for the feedback, but the way you delivered it sucked and was really hurtful, and you shouldn't do that anymore if you want to be a good human, right? I won't say that. It'll just be, thank you for that feedback, and we'll try to take action on it. If there's nothing to learn, if they're just straight up hating, empathy, this person's in a lot of pain, my default response would just be sending you lots of love. or much love, Justin, or, you know, whatever their name is. And sometimes it does change them. Sometimes they'll come back the next day and they'll say, hey, I was in a really bad spot yesterday, and I just want to apologize for what comment I left. That happens. Sometimes they'll come back and delete the comment when they saw that I was nice back to them instead of taking the bait and criticizing them. And sometimes they don't do anything, but other people will see it. And that's why I started doing this, is that other people will see how you respond. If that's in a public setting, on your YouTube videos or on your content, on your product reviews, other people will see how you respond to the negative criticism. If it's in real life, your kids, your family, the people around you, they'll see how you respond to negativity. And even if you never change the person who is being negative, the people around you who see how you're doing, how you're responding to it, they change and say, holy cow, that was really interesting how they responded. I was expecting them to freak out and they didn't. And that becomes an inspiration to other people. You become an inspiration to other people by being your best self, by being the self of you that you're most proud of. And it starts again with empathy. So whether it's somebody who is close to you, friends, family, somebody's opinion you actually care a lot about, and they're being critical of you, again, empathy. Does this person understand me and what I'm going through? Probably not. They're living from their own operating system, their own past, their own traumas that happened to them. They love me, right? Does this person love me? Yes. Okay. So why are they telling me this? Because they live off in a different world than I do. And that's okay, right? Removes the sting. And then for public comments, for people who don't know you, for people who are throwing nasty shade at you, again, empathy. This person is a good person. They just hate their life and they're in a lot of pain and they're taking it out on me. And again, that doesn't take away 100% of the pain, but that detachment for 5 seconds can remove 80% of the pain, of the sting, make you feel better. And then give yourself the shot to make yourself proud. Before you respond, right? Before you write that really nasty comment back, before you respond, do this. Think of yourself in a year looking back on this, and I want to inspire myself. How can you inspire future you to look back on that comment and how you handled that situation? And whenever you make decisions from that place of you being proud of yourself for how you act, you're going to make a much better decision than if it's a snap judgment, trying to put that person in their place because they are wrong and they offended you, right? Empathy. The answer is empathy. Now, I have a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video? And what is your plan of action that you're going to take this week to move that idea forward? When you specify what time, what place, how you're going to actually take action on your ideas, you got motivated, and you have your plan of action, you have a 91% chance of following through. That's what the data says. Whereas if you just get motivated, but never create your plan, never specify when you're going to do it, your chances of following through are only 35%. I want you to get results. Now, when you also commit to other people, that's why I want you to put it in the comments below. When you vocalize it out loud and commit to other people, it increases your chances of following through even more. I want you to take action, not just watch videos here. So down in the comments below, tell me what your biggest takeaway was and your plan of action this week to make sure that it happens. Also, if you want to have more confidence, I've created a free training program. The data says that it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a new habit. So if you want to get more confidence, I'm going to send you a free video to your email every day for 254 days to help you build your confidence, 100% free. The link to join is in the description below.
Successful people do what they hate to get to where they want to be. Doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't have self-belief, you're not going to get anywhere.
This is a good topic. There's a lot of you out there that are happy, that are successful, and one of the things that's happening is you're putting out stuff and you're being crippled a little bit by the comments and you get angry. And we've created this term trolls. I don't look at it as trolls, I really don't. A lot of my friends back in the day were like, why do you feed trolls? I'm like, because I respect other people's points of view and I want to learn from conversation. Like everybody now is just like trolls, trolls, trolls. And any negative thing you get, people dismiss as hate, haterade, trolls. I read that. I read it because I would never want to become a caricature of myself. I need to make, I need to calibrate it. It definitely doesn't bring me down. I want to understand it. It allows me to adjust, and I have to adjust. We all have to adjust. I just think there's a lot of things going on in the system, but I really want to get people's minds more quiet, because it is just one big game of, are you valuing other people's opinions, or are you valuing your own process?
Yeah.
And just the validation from others is a no-win game. And I don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened. Parenting and circumstance and environment. In hindsight, my ability to navigate high school without peer pressure, which is what I did, straight up. Like, it's been fun for my high school friends to be hitting me up on Facebook and stuff of that nature, They're just like, yeah, you really did do that. Like, I just didn't give a.
If you want to change your life in the next 30 days for free, check out the link right here below me. Or if you want another awesome video from Marisa Peer, check out the one right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy them. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.